Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope wherever you are in the world, today's been treating you so well. In today's video, I'm doing another full face of new makeup, mixed brands, such different price points, even within the drugstore, high street, affordable umbrella that I operate under. We've got Emco Beauty, we've got Milani at one end, and then on the other end we have got TroubleMaker, we have got MUA, we've also got a bit of Beauty Bay, we've got a little bit of everything, but a full face of new makeup, reviewing it all, giving you my first impressions. So if you like these cruelty-free and affordable makeup reviews, subscribe down below, treat yourself. I post 3 times a week, on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. It's always affordable and it's always cruelty free. Everything will be linked down below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's just jump straight on in because I've got a lot to be talking about today. Let's get the hair out of the way. Let's start with a foundation, and I'm not sure if I picked up the right colour, and yes, thank you, I did go into Superdrug to look at the colours to pick one that was right for me. Why is the lighting in Superdrug so awful? It's not so far off, but also I feel like it's not right. This is the Emco Beauty Miracle Flawless Skin Foundation, medium buildable coverage. I got this in light nude. I don't know, let's just see. Let's just see how this goes. So let's do, oh, it might be okay. I feel like it's a bit dark. Let's just blend it out with a sponge, a damp makeup sponge, and see how this goes. I might be able to make that work. And like I say, I actually went into Superdrug to get this. This was in the Superdrug. It wasn't my local one. I recently been to Manchester and it was in, which one was it? Piccadilly Gardens? Is that what it's called? The big one in Manchester. Yeah, and they had all of the shades, and I it's not far off. It'll do. It will do. Let's see what I think of the actual foundation rather than the shade, because I can pick up another shade if this all goes wrong. Okay, so I do feel like the colour is a little dark and a little bit yellow, but actually now that that's on, I feel like that is acceptable. I like the finish of this. It is quite glowy. Obviously I already had my skincare and everything underneath that was very glowy. That's just, I'm a dry skin gal, I need all of the hydration, but I do feel like that is looking really nice. I quite like it. So for concealer, such a big jump to TroubleMaker. It's so affordable. This is the Ditto concealer. I have this in Firecracker, not a first impression. I've already tried this. I do like it. It's not the most coverage, but I like it. There are other concealers that I prefer, but this one is nice enough and very affordable. Packaging's cute. It's new, you know, all the things. So I'm just going to tap this out with the same sponge just around my eyes. I don't feel like I need any more coverage anywhere else. I'm having a good skin day, which is a miracle considering I am living off prawn cocktail crisps and bull fat coke at the minute. So I'm happy with how that concealer is laying like on top of the foundation. I think that the base is looking really nice so far. So for the colour products, again we've got like both ends of the spectrum. For bronzer, we've got another Emco product. Technically this says contour stick, but I think that this looks quite warm. It's got a brush on this end, and honestly, am I ever going to use that? No, that feels so dense. I just don't I don't think I will ever use that, but the actual stick looks real nice. So like I say, this is the dual-ended contour stick from Emco. This is light to medium. So I'm just going to draw this straight on, I think, although that feels quite big. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks fine to me. So let's squiggle this all over and hope that it blends out nicely after I've put it all over my face. So we've got that much contour going on. Where are my brushes? Where is the brush that I want? Oh, it's already out on my table. It's already the end of the day, and I'm, you know, when you're just feeling a bit like erratic. Story of my life. Yeah, feeling a bit, I don't know, weird. Anyway, this is blending nicely. I don't feel like it's very contoury though. Like the colour looks quite warm. I would prefer that. I don't really contour. That's far too technical for me. That is above my pay grade. But I like that colour, and that is blending so easily. Look at that. Beautifully bronzed forehead. So easy. Okay, I really like that. And I feel like it's a bit glowy. Like there's glow. So I wouldn't agree with that, saying that it's contour, because you don't want to glow in your contour. I don't know. I like it. I really like it. I really like that colour. I like how that's blending out. I like how glowy that's looking. Just wouldn't necessarily agree with that saying that it's a contour, but that's fine. I really like that. And also I feel like there's loads of product here. How much is in here? 10.5 grams. That's loads. Yeah. Very happy with that. Very, very happy with that colour. Happy with that finish. Really, really like that. So for blush, we've got TroubleMaker. This is the Baked Blush with Hyaluronic Cheeky Bake, and this is in the shade Cake Mix. This is what that is looking like. So again, nice and glowy, nice and pink. So let's take my usual brush, dip into this. I don't know how much pigment to expect, so I'm like dipping and then checking my brush. I think that that looks okay. And let's tap this onto the cheeks. Ooh, that's a very pretty colour. That is almost a little bit lilac-y. Like I could tell that that was a cool toned pink. They didn't have too many options when I purchased this, but I really like the finish of that. I mean, obviously, I love a glowy blush. In case you're new here, hello, my name is Millie. I have an addiction to glowy blushes, but this one's really pretty. Not crazy, crazy pigmented, like absolutely workable, buildable, all of the things, but I really like that colour. Definitely buildable as well. Definitely, definitely buildable. But I love that colour. That's so like fresh and like I've just come in from the cold. Which I haven't, because it's absolutely boiling today, but coming into autumn, I love a colour like that. Very, very pretty. Very, very pretty indeed. So now let's get some brows on my head, because I can never take myself seriously until I've got some brows on. And I've got the new Beauty Bay brow pen. So this is the Micro Sketch Brow Blade pen. I got this in, now, medium. I was just about to say, I think they had 3 shades. and I was deciding between medium or dark, and medium just looked a little bit warmer, so I decided to go for that one. But the reason that this is especially interesting is it's double-ended, so there's one end that's just got the one single pen, and then the other end is like that L'Oreal one. Is it L'Oreal? Where there's two little prongs. So I don't know which end to use. Would you go in with the double one first and then just fill in with the single one? I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me just concentrate. In fact, first let me get a little spoolie and brush the brows upwards where they should be, and then I'll try and draw them in, because you can't see a single brow on my head currently. No brow. And I like a full fluffy looking brow, so let's go in with the double side first. Thought I'd better just zoom you in so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But I feel like you can really see those little hair-like strokes. The double prong was very, very easy to use. I really, really like that. The colour is quite light for what I usually do, but actually I feel like the overall effect there is quite decent. I like how that's looking. So let me get the lid back on that side, and I'm just going to do a few little darker lines with the single side, just to say that I've used both, you know. But I quite like the double prong side actually. That was very quick, very easy. I like it. Yeah, it's one of the better brow pens that I've used. I've used some bad ones. I've used some very, very bad ones. But this one is very easy. Yeah, I like that. So I don't have a new brow gel. So while you're zoomed in, let's move on to the eyeballs. And I've got a new to me product, but not new, the Milani eyeshadow primer. I had so many people telling me that this was their favourite eyeshadow primer when I ran out of my beloved Beauty Bay eye primer, and I've been on the hunt for a new one. So many people told me to try this one, so I'm going to try that today. And MUA, we've got the Desert Bloom eyeshadow palette. I love these little 5 pans from MUA. So I'm not going to swatch it, I'm just going to dive straight in with my scissors. Let's get into this. So there are 3 matte shades, 2 shimmers. I'm very interested in this shimmer. Yeah, let's get into the eyeshadow primer, prime the eyelids, and try this palette. I love MUA eyeshadow, like the formula from MUA anyway, so we're just gonna see how we go. So on the eyeshadow primer it says apply to clean dry lids, blend well and allow to set for 30 seconds. So I can do that. Let's find a brush and, oh, so it's a little like squeezy tube thing. Fine, get some on the back of my hand. So it is a little bit tinted, but I don't think that that will really show up when I've blended it out. Let's tap this across the eyelid. So that has had 30 seconds, looks like nothing. That's fine, it's not meant to. And let's go in with the Desert Bloom eyeshadow palette with a smaller fluffy brush. I'm just going to dip into that middle matte shade. Work this into the crease. Ooh, that primer is feeling a little bit tacky. Okay. I do like a primer that like really grabs onto your eyeshadows, because then it gets like the most pigment, you know, and it reduces the amount of fallout. I really, really like a grippy eye primer. So on this under the eye as well, I really like this colour. That's like a rust, dusty rose. I like that. I really, really like this colour. That's got such a beautiful amount of warmth to it. And I feel like that is working so nicely over the top of that primer as well. Because like I say, I already know and love the MUA eyeshadow formula. So that was just that middle shade. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the deeper one, just with the same brush. And I'm going to pop that on the lid on the outer corner. And then I'm just going to whack that lighter shimmer all across the lid and call it a day. That is all I'm doing today. Nothing crazy. I feel like obviously there's only so many ways you can go when firstly you've only got 5 shades and they are like neutral. So tapping that in. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and most importantly they are applying beautifully, blending beautifully, all of the things. So I'm going to use the lighter shimmer. The darker shimmer is beautiful, but I love a nice bright shimmer. If I'm going to use one, I want it to be blinding. So let's tap that all across the lid. Who is mad at that? Who is mad? This isn't too glittery. It has a lot of that base colour to it, so it is almost like a foil. So pretty. So pretty. Just going to pick up a little bit of that lightest shimmer shade on a brush, tap it onto the inner corner, because obviously nails are too long. I'm getting nowhere near there with my nails. So just tapping that over there. It's applying nicely with a brush as well. I am not mad at this eyeshadow palette. So one last little blend over the outer corner. I love that. The quality is what you expect. If you've tried the MUA eyeshadow formula, please let me know. Like, please tell me that you love it as much as I do, because honestly, these are like, I think these are £3.75 for 5 shades, and the quality is, I can't fault the quality. So I have got a lip stain from Beauty Bay that I want to try with you, but it's one of those that's like blue and then you have to wipe it off. So I'm going to put this on now, and then I will go off and do my mascara, and then we can wipe it off together and we can have that moment, you know, wiping this off. So this is the All Hours lip stain in the shade Crave. They had a lighter one and a slightly more like berry red tone, and that's what this one is, but obviously it just looks purple. So if I draw this on, I'm so scared because this is blue. Like, it's blue. So carefully. Ooh, it smells nice. Ooh, that smells delicious. Okay, so here we are with the finished look. I am gonna go ahead and do my mascara, and then we can unveil the lip colour together. But first, mascara. Okay, so that is the mascara done. It has been 10 minutes, did a bit of doom scrolling, you know how it is. The mascara that I put on is the MUA Amplify Statement Lash. Not new, not a first impression. I love this stuff. So I have got a cotton round just with water, plain water. I considered using micellar water so that I wouldn't have to stand up and go to the bathroom that is within reach. But I did, because I thought, I don't want to skew the results. I want this to be scientific and accurate. So just water. This feels very tight now on my lips. Like, I can't really move my mouth too much. So let's wipe this off. Ooh, ooh, that colour is pretty. That colour is very pretty. Okay. I really like that colour. That's almost a bit like berry toned. I did, however, wipe off half the foundation from around my mouth, but that's fine because I haven't set anything yet. I've also got a new powder. Had I forgotten about it? No, I always meant to do it at the end. But I really like that colour. I really, really like that colour. I can see where I applied maybe a little bit more around the edges, like it's darker around the edges, but also that was my first time using it, so I would maybe do it before foundation next time and try and apply it a little bit more evenly. But I really like that, and I really, really like that colour. Pretty. So, like I say, I've got a powder, a pressed powder to try. Yes, I have already tried this, technically, but I got this in the light shade. So this is the Emco Beauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. Perfects, finishes and touches up makeup, and I got this in the light shade. So I've already tried this in the translucent shade. I was scared that the light shade would be too dark for my skin tone, but I got a couple of messages on Instagram, and I think under the comments of my first Emco video, saying that the light shade will work for me, that you were a similar skin tone and that it worked for you. So I'm taking a small fluffy brush, dipping into the powder lightly and I really like the translucent one, so I do have high hopes for this. Let's tap this down the centre. See, and that's why I like it. It's so smoothing and blurring and just so pretty. Like, and I'm so picky with powders, but this one really is so pretty. I like it in the light shade as well. It's so finely milled, it's so fine. I really, really enjoy that. Good makeup day. I mean, if only it wasn't literally 7 o'clock in the evening. Never mind. Never mind. I always feel like I do my best makeup when I'm about to have a shower and go to bed. Doesn't matter. You get to see it and I get to enjoy it, and that is what makeup is all about. So that is everything. What a good makeup day. What a good makeup day. I found some really, really good products today. So the foundation, the Miracle Flawless Skin Foundation, I like it. It's nothing revolutionary. It's fine. I will of course continue to use all of these products and come back at the end of the month with all of my final thoughts. Yeah, it's fine. The colour is a little bit dark for me. It's not anything incredibly special, but it's nice. I really like the bronzer though. That was really beautiful. The colour was perfect. It was really nice and creamy, so it drew on very, very nicely, but also blended out. Not with the sponge on the end, the brush on the end, I wouldn't use that, but that drew on and blended out so easily, like so creamy and just the perfect amount of everything. Really, really liked that. I really liked the blush. I feel like the blush goes with the lip, but the eye is a bit warm, like that's throwing me off a little bit, but I love that blush. The glow, like I have no highlight on. And look at that glow. She's hydrated. And it's not full fat coke. I know. That looks so beautiful and smooth, not chunky or glittery. Really, really like that. I will report back on the eyeshadow primer. First impressions, I really like that. It was very, very smooth. I know that's not new to the market, but just for the people out there that are trying to find a replacement for the Beauty Bay eye primer, the Milani one was really, really nice. I really like the eyeshadow palette. That was so, like, the colour selection is very, very beautiful there. You're gonna get a neutral sort of smoky eye every single time you use it, but I like the colour selection there. I think that that's very, very pretty. I really like the brow pen. I could potentially have gone with the dark, but also I feel like the brows look fine. Like, they look dark enough. Maybe I'm just in the mindset that my brows always have to be so dark, but actually I feel like that looks really nice, and that was so easy to use with the 2 prongs. Very, very easy to use, very fluffy, very pigmented. I like it. I really, really like the brow pen. That was definitely a winning product there. I love that lip. That lip tint. I'm very, very excited about that. Can you bring out an orange? Can you bring this out in an orange? Or can you bring back the lip tint that you've already got in an orange that's been out of stock forever and I have wanted a backup of? Thank you so much. Yeah, really, really like that lip tint. Very, very easy to use. Looks crazy when you draw the blue on, but I really like that as well. And the powder, the pressed powder, so smoothing, not too dark. I really, really like that. And was that everything that I've tested today? Yeah. That was everything. I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of everything. So I would love to hear if there's anything that you have tried recently that you think I need to get my hands on, that you have tried and love. I want to hear all about it. What do you think of these products if you have tried them? I also want to know that. Everything will be linked down below, but until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye bye.